Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon, and joining me on episode 119 of the EAC Show, we got LaVon Harvey. LaVon, appreciate you coming on, joining me on the show. Marcus should be joining us shortly. If not, it's just going to be me and you tonight. LaVon, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Just taking in all the news that's been happening this week. You know, baseball is in the building, and just trying to take it day by day, man. Yourself?
Yeah, can't complain, man. Listen, just not for nothing. We got to start off with congratulations is due to Mr. Dak Prescott, who's most likely going to be a Dallas Cowboy for a very, very long time. He got paid.
Yeah. Yes, he got the bag, and again, it's a lot of money for a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but nowadays they're in high demand, so it is what it is. Get paid, young fella. I'm not mad at it, but if we're talking about just the market and making comparisons, I have my reservations on that. So yeah.
So we're gonna get into that. We're gonna talk about Dak Prescott getting paid, a little bit of what Jerry Jones says, a little bit of back and forth, a little bit of talk about that. We're also gonna talk about maybe a lot of the roster cuts or the roster contract negotiations that are being done in order to create new cap room for certain teams to bring in certain players. A lot of people getting cut left and right today. Not for nothing. It's been a complete and utter massacre. I'm trying to think what else. We're going to discuss XFL and CFL merger possibilities, and we're going to talk about NBA All-Star Weekend a little bit. So let's start off with Dak, obviously. Dak is a big story, real news. I think more, LaVon, you give me your opinion on this. I think I'm more interested in the actual drama than the actual contract being signed. Like, congratulations, 4 years. He ended up getting, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I got it on him, LaVon. So it
was 126 guaranteed, 100.
He gets $75 million in year one. Base salary $9 million. Signing, he gets 13.2, cap hit of 22.2, and a total of $75 million is his actual amount for year one, LaVon. LaVon, tell me what you think about that in all actuality. $75 million year one.
Well, of course, it's front loaded, but it doesn't matter how you spend it. He's getting all that bread. Again, my thoughts. It's a lot of money for a quarterback who's not top 5 quarterback in the league. I understand. It is what it is with the market, but he's got to come through now. There's no more excuses. Injuries happen, but you've got to put up gaudy numbers. You've got to be a leader. There's a lot that comes with that bag. So, and a lot of, I think over 85% of it is 80% of it is guaranteed. He's kind of hurting the rest of the players on the team. They might have to make some cuts. Dallas better win that dusty Division 2. Honestly, bro, for the next 4 years, there's no excuse to, unless Brady or Mahomes gets traded to like the Redskins or something, because other teams don't even have quarterbacks. So he needs to keep on in the division, put up solid numbers, and he needs to start winning. His record this last 15 games isn't even that hot. He needs to win. I don't care. I don't hear excuses. Oh, Cooper was hurt, or Lamb didn't do this, or my offensive line's getting old. I don't want to hear none of that. It's time to win. The time is now, and that's it. You're paid, young fella.
So now, LaVon, I'm expecting you to bring a little bit more heat on this episode when it comes to the subject. You're being kind of mellow right now. I'm gonna be honest with you, but for me, I gotta switch it just a little bit. So I gotta turn sideways, right? So I'm gonna turn sideways, and I'm facing this way. And the reason why I'm facing this way is because I'm gonna do what Cameron did and Paid in Full. I'm gonna do the Dougie while I'm smashing the hell out of Jerry Jones. Because that's exactly what Dak Prescott just did. He just literally ass-raped Jerry Jones. He got paid ridiculous amount. And Jerry said it. Jerry said, if anybody has ever got over me financially, I was glad it was Dak Prescott. You literally just said that it was okay for Dak Prescott to rape you in the ass. Because that's exactly what just happened.
And what else is he going to say? Dak won this. This whole time, I thought Jerry was going to stand firm. Dak Prescott is a great quarterback, and he's going to be a part of our future. No one ever believed it. He sounded shaky the whole time, right? He franchised him 1 year. He's about to franchise him again. You don't franchise someone like that over and over again. And you pay everybody else and not him and not your quarterback. So the fact that this happened, you already know, high key, Jerry's pissed. I don't want to hear about that. If anybody get over me, nah, you're not happy about his contract. You probably think he might die before the contract is over.
I would have told Dak, if I was Dak, I'd be like, man, get paid in Bitcoin. Like real like real talk. Pay me in Bitcoin, real shit. I don't care. Like real talk. One day that shit's gonna be fucking worth fucking 75 million. Next thing you know, it's 150 million first year. Pay me in Bitcoin first year. I'm good.
Yo, man. Well, but again, like I said, congrats to him. He got the bag, and now it's time to shut up and just put up, man.
As long as they stay healthy, are they going to win the NFC East?
Yes.
Hands down.
If Dak is, as long as Dak is healthy, and even if Cooper gets hurt, if one of the receivers get hurt, it's okay. There's no excuse. If one of those receivers gets hurt, I don't want to hear it. As long as Dak is healthy, shoot, I'm not even that worried about Zeke, to be honest, because you got the backup running back. I forgot his name. He's pretty solid too. As long as Zeke can stay healthy, I don't want to hear excuses about nothing. I don't want to hear.
So, congratulations once again to Dak Prescott and his family. Congratulations to the Cowboys Nation. Jerry Jones for getting the job done, securing his quarterback. He always said he was never afraid to write checks, and he really showed he wasn't. 4-year deal, $160 million, $126 million guaranteed, and $75 million in year one. So shout out to Dak. Dak ended up getting a short-term deal, so he could end up getting re-up again, so he could end up getting another bag eventually somewhere down the future. So shout out to them. Let's hope he stays healthy. That injury was gruesome. A lot of contract restructuring. Obviously, we saw some of that with Ben Roethlisberger over in Pittsburgh. I just recently saw that a couple players in the Carolina Panthers, especially Christian McCaffrey, ended up restructuring their contract to create new cap space for Carolina. We already know the New England Patriots have about $65 million of cap. Also, something that I didn't even know, LeVon, I'm not sure if you knew. So supposedly there's a cap rollover. So if you had cap money last year in a COVID season, you're now allowed to be able to roll it over to this year.
Did not know that.
So there's some teams that's going to take full advantage of this situation because they had money left over from this year, so they're going to be able to even spend more money.
Yeah, I did not know that. I mean, I'm not sure what's in the market right now. What, Sam Darnold? There's a couple of like B-minus C players on it, but yeah, man. I mean, you got to spend it, right? I mean, you got to spend the money. So some guys gonna get overpaid. And more power to you, you know. And, I mean, like you mentioned, a lot of guys are restructuring their deals. I mean, it's crazy. Even Brady's restructuring his deal because he wants to get another star in. Like, the Super Bowl, and the team is stacked, right? I think it'd behoove of them to keep Shaq Barrett around. I know he's kind of on the edge right now. Shaq hasn't got paid. He's been in the league for 7 years. 7 years. And he's gotten paid $25 million over 7 years. He's going to get paid.
Yeah, right.
With them or not, he's a big piece of that team. I mean, him and not just him, but them as a unit, all these beasts gave Mahomes a nightmare. So I think it'd be a good idea. I know they tagged Godwin, but they gave them a tag. You know, you got Sue, you got that line is stacked, but it took a collective effort for them to beat the best team in the league. The Chiefs are still the best team in the league, but Brady restructured his contract. I'm hearing whispers about looking for another star. I mean, I'm hearing Odell whispers. I don't think it'll happen, but I'm hearing whispers about Odell. I heard today that since we're on the topic of football, that Packers, I don't know what they're doing.
Shout out to Cameron. Cameron, where you at on this episode, Cameron? We need to talk to you about this shit.
Yeah, like Aaron Jones didn't sign it. I mean, they might sign it, but he's still like, all right, we're gonna let you test the market. Why are they playing these games?
The Packers are different. The Packers are a team that always are going to run the way they run. They're always going to operate the way they operate. They're still living off of the Super Bowls that they won. In all honesty, with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, you know, winning one Super Bowl in Green Bay is enough. I mean, there's not really that much pressure if you think about it because the team is a publicly owned team. It's not owned by a specific owner. You know, the fans technically own the team. The team can never be moved. So it's a little bit different. The pressure in Green Bay is to be competitive and win, but I think the fans up there fully understand the circumstances financially that they're in. So I think Green Bay needs to help Aaron Rodgers. I don't necessarily think they want to though. So
why not though? Aren't you trying to win?
Because there are some if it's not broke, don't fix it type shit. Bend don't break type shit.
You're not winning championship. It's broken. What do you like? I don't understand.
Sometimes just getting the NFC Championship game and giving you a chance, doing it the way you're doing it, is just the way they look at it is, look, we're just one step off of it. We're right there. We're right there 2 years in a row. We're right there. We just got to get over that hump. So the way they're doing things, they think they're doing it right. You understand? So if they see it like we just have to perform better in that one game to get to that point, they'll be all right. But for me, LeVon, with some of these contract restructures, I know you spoke about Tampa Bay. I think the moves that Carolina is doing is to literally bring in somebody like a Deshaun Watson or a Russell Wilson to Carolina. They're freeing up so much money. They have that high draft pick that they can trade that I already know most likely Matt Rule doesn't even want. He probably doesn't even want it. He has a veteran team. He has running backs. He has defensive players. Remember, he used all his picks last year on defensive players. So in all actuality, especially with that owner, he has bread. He's one of the richest owners in the NFL. So he has no problem literally, go ahead, take the future, send that shit somewhere else, and bring me Russell Wilson or bring me Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, that'd be a dope fit, man. Either one of those quarterbacks would be a great fit. Because, Teddy Bridgewater, cool guy, but he's not the type to let it cook. But Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson will cook.
And Deshaun went to Clemson. It's a perfect fit for being in that Carolina area.
Exactly. And, they got Robbie Anderson and I forgot the other receiver's name on the outside.
Moore.
Sorry?
Moore.
Oh, yeah. They got Moore and Robbie, and then you got McCaffrey in the backfield. Those are three receivers right there.
Now,
So,
we also got Mr. Sleepy up in New England. Now, I'm a little bit nervous because I don't recall ever Bill Belichick having $65 million to play with. That's like that shit that we see here in Florida when the fucking old people hit the lotto and they're like 77 years old.
Yeah, Zachary Hills, Florida. Like, isn't that a water? Florida. It's always some weird. New England. Oh man, they're so not a thing, and it feels good. I'm a Dolphin fan, obviously, so just the fact that New England. I mean, okay, you hear nothing about them. It's always what are they going to do, right? We know Jets are going to probably move off of Sam Darnold because they want to move forward and get a fresh quarterback. You're going to get top 3 quarterback in the draft. We got Buffalo, who looks like this future is bright with Allen, Diggs, and just that unit. Dolphins have great defense. They got a great mind.
Just to add on that Dolphins point, you fully trust your coach and your GM, correct? Like everything that they're doing, you're on board with.
I do. I think Flores is genius, and I think we're on a great path. We got some spots to fill, but I think we're on the right track. I really do. It's tough to overcome teams that have quarterbacks already. Buffalo's in our division, so I'll talk about Buffalo, right? Buffalo has a quarterback. He's here to stay, and he's going to be here for the next 13 years. Right? It is what it is. So we've got to find ways to make him uncomfortable, and we got to find a quarterback of our own. That's what it is, right? We've seen lesser teams beat better teams before many times. And not to jump ship for a second, but before I forget to talk about it, I heard a good point today. What the sportscaster say? The fact that Dak, who is not a top 5 quarterback, is getting all this bread. This puts these other teams in a really bad spot.
Well, no. Let me backtrack. Not necessarily. This happened a few years ago with Darrelle Revis and Nnamdi Asomugha. There is a Nnamdi Asomugha contract every year in the NFL where somebody pays a fucking player more money than every other team in the league thinks they're worth. So Darrelle Revis, I never forget this, was literally pushing to be the highest paid corner in the league. And the Jets were like, look, we don't have a problem giving you the money that you want. We just don't agree with that valuation of that player. So just because that player got that much money, we disagree with it. So in this case, I think teams are smart enough to sit there and say, yes, look, we know what Jerry's old ass paid, freaking AARP, Mr. AARP paid that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to overstate, actually, we're not going to overpay for no reason.
Boy, the reason why I can't agree with that necessarily is because what is the
Yes, but it's about delivering. The most position in yes, the quarterback. I don't disagree with you, but it's about delivering. You have to deliver as well to get that type of money. Jerry is just a buffoon and ended up giving Dak all the money in the world.
Well, I think it's also about hope. Can this quarterback give you, like, no BS, does this quarterback give you a chance, give you hope to get into the playoffs and possibly win?
And the weak ass NFC East, yes.
Yeah, and you have to pay those guys.
Yeah, but you don't have to pay them the astronomical money. You don't have to pay them look, for example, prime example, the situation with Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. There's something going on with the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson right now. They're not on the same page. They're probably not on the same page because the evaluation of the quarterback position of Baltimore isn't the same as the evaluation of the quarterback position to the Dallas Cowboys.
So, okay, when we say astronomical, maybe that's a better question, right? Would $30 million, would 4 years, $30 million be astronomical?
5 years, how much?
For 4 years, so which is $30 million a year.
No. But when you go $40 million for 4 years for a player that's never won an MVP, never took you to nowhere near the playoffs, like that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like Lamar has a better fight in sitting there saying I'm worth $40 million than Dak does. Dak just got overpaid because he's America's team's quarterback and America's team's owner needs to have. He's basically the fucking New York Yankees of fucking football. He literally overpays his players no matter what.
Right place, right time, man. For real.
The fucking same production you got from a rookie in Minnesota this year is the same shit you got from Amari Cooper. Like, and you paid Amari Cooper $100 million. Like, Jerry's known to do that shit.
Yeah, but I mean, again, these teams are going to keep hold on because if you think about it, you know, these teams are going to look themselves in the mirror and say, okay, great. Patty Mahomes is the future. He's the future. We need a quarterback that's going to have a chance to beat him, and who can do it? Lamar Jackson can do it. The young bull from the Bills, he can do it.
Josh Allen.
So the guys that have a chance, Allen, Russell, and that's my point though. There's only a group of guys, and let's include Patty Mahomes, right? Forget going against him. There's like 5-6 quarterbacks that you have to throw the bag. You got to give him the bag.
But you got to, wait, hold up. You got to give Patty Mahomes that deal that early because that's the only way you keep him in Kansas City.
Correct. And he's also a beast too. You know what I'm saying?
He's deserving. I'm not saying that. But Kansas City's smart. Kansas City said, let's do this now so we don't got to worry about this fucking headache later.
Sure. And that makes total sense. I mean, it'd be interesting, like you said, to see how Baltimore kind of pans out. I'm interested in that. I think as soon as Allen gets a chance, he's getting 35 out the gate. He's getting 35 a year. Like, those guys right there, you know.
But it's not 40. It's not 40.
You're right. Every million counts. That's crazy, right? It's crazy because we're not there. It's like 35 million is a lot, but it's not 40. It's like, damn, bro. Like, that's how you know it's money. Every million counts, but shit, you know.
Listen,
1 million.
there is shit in sports that just, you know, that just makes sense. Like, for example, when you see a player like Mike Trout get the money he gets, everybody else, y'all motherfuckers ain't getting this type of money. Like, forget it. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? When you see a player like Messi who gets a ridiculous amount of money, fuck everybody else. Unless your name is Cristiano Ronaldo, you're not getting this type of money. Forget it. There's contracts that you sit there and you say, well, that's understandable. In this case, Jerry just did this shit because he's Jerry. That's why he did it. That's why he did it. He did it because he could. He did it because he picks fucking draft picks on his fucking yacht in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico. That's why he did it.
And to think, like a couple years ago, he could have had Dak for like, I think high 20s, like 30s. Like, he could have did it, but he's like, nope. Dak could be on his third year. Dak could be on his third? Hold on, either second or third year of a $30 million per year contract.
And Jerry fucked up. It actually cost Jerry more money in the long run because he tagged him, and when he tagged him, that's a certain number that he's getting. Then he's going to tag him again. That's a certain number. So you're like, fuck, I got to give this guy his fucking money regardless.
20% would have been this year, and then next year would have been like 160%.
I'm so looking forward to where some of these guys go. I know the Houston Texans are playing hardball when it comes to Deshaun Watson. I would love to see Deshaun in Carolina. I hope he actually ends up getting traded in some way, shape, or form. Let's see where Russell Wilson's going to end up. That shit over there in Seattle look like it's going to be heading for divorce as well. I don't know what the fuck my team is going to do, whether we're going to trade Darnold, keep him, draft Justin Wilson. I have no fucking idea. I'm so looking forward to the season. And once again, I have to reiterate, Bill Belichick actually has $65 fucking million to play with, LeVon. That's scary.
That's not Cam again. That's the only play, huh?
Homie, that's not, in my opinion, and this is just being funny because Cam, you're a fucking amazing fucking player. But yo, dude, you could get a fucking JUCO quarterback probably to produce better than Cam Newton did last year. Real talk.
Yeah, but it's just like Bill's the type of guy that, you know, if he doesn't make the playoffs, let me just win 7-8 games. I don't think Bill can stomach a 2-win season. He just feel like, man,
but Bill is good enough to get you 8-8. With slap dick from Publix and the deli guy from fucking Fresh Market, he can get you 8-8.
I mean, Bill's worth 3. Now we need to start talking about quarterbacks that know how to throw a football. You know what I mean? Past 20 yards.
If Bill has the Garoppolo last year, how many games does he win?
Healthy Garoppolo? Again, those position players suck, man. That's the problem. Those guys are freaking, they can't get open. They're just slow as shit. Like, those guys don't cut. They don't nothing. They don't do shit good.
Yo, don't do that when I'm drinking water, man. I almost choked on my fucking water.
It's crazy how you watch, like, these high school, college players, like, they're so fast and elusive. Like, these Patriot receivers when they cut, they loop. When they cut, like, you know, they do circles. Like, these guys suck.
LeVar's saying basically that the fucking Patriots wide receivers are the kids at Douglas High School literally running routes.
Yeah, that's it. They do like little hop things. They try to juke them.
That's fucked up, yo. That's fucked.
That's
That's fucked up, LeVar. And while we're still talking about football, LeVar, I wanted to pull something up real quick. This exciting news that is happening out of the XFL and NFL. I mean XFL and CFL talks. The XFL is actually in talks with the CFL, potentially partnering in a post-pandemic return. They're actually discussing a way that the XFL and the CFL can actually figure out a way to work out some type of agreement to whether or not they can play games against each other and like literally bring the leagues together to form a better league. LeVon, in my opinion, more football is good. I was a proud follower of the XFL. I got so much shit, Cameron and I and fucking Marcus Mack. We got so much shit for following the XFL so much. And the XFL was a really good product that has players playing in the NFL today, to this day. So give me your thoughts and opinions on an XFL, CFL possible partnership.
My thing is, why not, right? Number one, like you mentioned, you know, more football is always good. And like we said, some of the players are actually in the league, right? I know you guys were a lot heavier in the XFL game than I was myself, but every time a player came on the field, I think I'm not great with the names either, but like I know when Bridgewater went out, I know the backup quarterback, he got his time to shine a little bit.
PJ Walker, MVP, Mr. PJ Walker.
Right? I know I saw one of his games too in XFL. He could toss the rock, right? It was already, I think he played the Falcons. I remember that because I bet that game and I lost. But I remember he played the Falcons in the rain when I believe he came into the game last season. But you always hear about these guys, so-and-so came from the XFL. And it's beautiful to see. And especially when you follow the sport like you guys say, you're like, it's my guy, man. Like, he's in the game right now. Like, what's up? It's really cool to see. So, and it's giving these guys a chance, too. Like, some of these guys are really good. You know what I'm saying?
But you just have to be a little bit more realistic in a sense. And I'm just going to... The XFL allows the league to be more engaged with the fans because it's the shit that the fucking fans do that introduce it to it. Like, for example, the beer snake, when you got the commissioner of the XFL bringing a cup to add it to the beer snake that is going up the fucking stands in DC, that is exciting. Like, that's what you need. Backflips and sideline interviews and the rawness of the game. Some of these guys, yes, they're a little bit, stick up your ass. Shout out to the quarterback, I forgot his name, that was acting stupid in New York that didn't want to do sideline interviews after doing picks. You knew what you were getting yourself into when you signed into the league. Don't get mad when you throw 3 picks and you got to fucking do an interview right after you throw the picks, homie. That's what you signed up for. Don't get mad. But more football, more close to high quality football is always good for the consumer, the viewer, for me, for you, for Cam, for Marcus Mack, for everybody.
Let's keep it a buck. You just won a handicap. Freaking.
Dude, I bet on anything, fam. I've been betting on fucking tennis that's happening in Qatar right now, and I'm not even up that early, sir. I bet on anything. I'll bet quarters. I don't care.
Degenerate nation, baby. Let's go. What did Wade say? Watch a football game and bet it all on one.
Dude, listen, it's just, you know what? Not for nothing. It's in my blood. Hopefully they end up making gambling legal here in the state of Florida. I could write a book. I could do a movie. You could have me on Netflix. Fucking, what is it? You could have me all over, because I could literally give you stories for days when it comes to this shit. And this business that I've been in and been able to inherit from my father and his father and so on and so forth. So in all actuality, I'm happy. Put minus fucking 3 on the line, minus 7.5. Give me an over-under. Give me a first half, a first quarter. I don't care what you give me. I'll take it all. Like, I'll make it happen. It don't matter to me. It could be Canadian. It could be Australian. It could be... I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn in all actuality. Now, the last thing we're going to talk to on this on episode 119 before we end up cutting out of here, and I appreciate you joining me, Levon. I think Marcus Mack is not going to join us on this episode, but the last thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about the NBA All-Star Weekend. Now, Levon, I thought it was a fucking snooze fest. Like, in all actuality, I really didn't. To me, it didn't do anything for me. Like, I didn't get anything really out of it. Like, what the fuck? Guys shooting jump shots from dumb deep and no defense, and you know shit is bad when Giannis goes 16 for 16. Like,
yeah. First of all, let me say this. I was so out of tune for the All-Star Weekend that I was confused when the commentator said, halftime, we have our dunk finalists. I said, time out. What about halftime and dunking? I was legit confused, right? First of all, I thought the game started at 6:30. I did, right? And then I hear the game starts at 8, whatever time it was. That's number one. Then I hear, halftime, the dunk contest. I said, the what contest? At what? When?
It's all because of COVID, man. They're trying to do everything all at once.
Sure, I figured that, yeah, I put it all together afterwards, right? And again, maybe they did this last year, but I'm telling you, I was so out of tune. So I see first quarter, normally high scoring, right? Doing that thing, whatever, you know. Normally they play around the first 3 quarters and the fourth quarter. That's always that's tradition. Fourth quarter, they go ham. So first quarter's gone. I come back to the TV, I was like, babe, why you start the game? Second quarter, I said, babe, why you start the game over? Like, I said, did someone press the rewind button? Well, why is the score 8-6 again? I was like, yo, I'm not about to rewind this. I'm not about to forget. Let it play out. Then I'm looking at, oh, wait, what? Oh, what is this? Man, I think they did it last year, I think.
Yeah, they did. They did do it last year.
They did it, right?
It's target points. You reach target points.
And then it's like the team to win. And then I said, what's the end game? And then I see the thing, the first team to reach 170. I'm like, I'm about to go smoke a blunt. I'm like, all I saw was like Steph not missing. You know what I'm saying? Steph's being Steph. Giannis trying to get an MVP by going 15 for 15. Not impressed.
Man, that shit was so boring. Look, I just gotta be honest with you. Listen, I'm from a different era. You're a little bit younger than me, but I'm from a different era. And look, let's just be real. Everybody wants to talk about Michael Jordan. Everybody wants to talk about Kobe Bryant. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant were amazing players. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant played inside of the triangle offense. They literally played inside of an offense. The ball was moved. The ball was passed all over the place. This, that, and third. You actually ran screens and like actual offensive, plays. In today's basketball, the ISO basketball is fucking boring. It's and one mixtape every fucking waking second of the game. It's like for me, it's not as enjoyable. I want to see playoff basketball from the beginning to the end. I want to see actually people playing defense and shutting other people down and using like a Bruce Bowen in today's basketball is non-existent. We don't have no defensive specialists. Yeah.
It's not this. No, yeah, your niggas is mad rich, boy. Niggas is rich as hell, bro. Everybody want to. It's AAU, man. Everybody's friendly. Everybody's rich. I mean, that's just.
So then let's just tune into the fourth quarter because everything else is irrelevant. Like, it don't matter.
Yeah, but no, because it's the first to 170, right? They don't start over again at 0.
You know who I enjoy watching? You know who I will watch? The fucking Utah Jazz. I will watch the Utah Jazz because every player on that team can give you 20. Every player on that team.
And I heard, I didn't watch the draft, but first of all, I seen the starting lineups. Who picked these? I know they picked the Durant, LeBron teams. Durant's a genius mind. LeBron's a genius mind. I get it. But Durant, you can't allow that team to get assembled together. There's just no way. First of all,
Durant didn't throw no monkey wrenches at all. He just went with the flow of it. He didn't care. He didn't give two shits.
Okay, I hope so. I know it's a fun event, but low key LeBron, you know LeBron, he's always trying to prove something. You know what I'm saying? But that lineup was dumb when I saw it.
That shit was a snooze.
I think he started too. Zion, did he start the game?
Yeah.
There was injuries and stuff, but that was pretty cool to see. And shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say.
So listen, before we end up finishing the show, I just gotta one shout out. One shout out to the homie from Poland that ended up beating Israel Adesanya. I did not see that happening at all. UFC that happened over the weekend, Levon. That was crazy to me. Like, literally. Adesanya is undefeated. He's the man. He's the last style bender.
You know what? I seen the odds on that, and it popped up on my phone because I think but the underdog wasn't there. Here's my thing. That's the black dude and the other dude, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I seen he was only an underdog. I took a peek. I like to peek. I'm not having a good gambling, so I'm trying to lay back.
Adesanya was minus 270.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It wasn't that. The underdog was only bought. It closed at 220, I think.
Right.
220. So that's not that big of a
Plus 220. Plus 220.
Sorry, plus 220. That's not that big of an underdog.
But still, like, I mean, I didn't see it happen. I'm rooting for Adesanya. I thought he was going to win. Shout out to the Polish dude. He ended up doing his thing.
Yeah.
And he's the champ. It's well-deserved. I most likely they'll end up getting a rematch in some way, shape, or form. Shout out to Dak Prescott. Shout out to everybody else. All-Star Weekend, all that good shit. Everything was good. Baseball's on its way. I was so excited. I don't know if you saw on the EAC page, I actually went disc golfing, fucking LeBron, and that shit is no joke.
You know what you got in your corner? I don't know how that works. What you got? I know you and the Budos went disc jogging. Shout out to them. But you got good form, man. I don't know what the hell way you do it, but you have that baseball. You know when someone plays baseball or plays some form of baseball, they fling it. I see your form and look great, homie. I don't know where you do the damn disc.
Fam, that was the only one that went fucking straight out of all the fucking discs I threw all fucking day. I threw one in the water. I threw one that almost went in the water. I threw like 4 that went in the trees. Literally, I think I had in total maybe I take like 30 shots the whole day. Wait, we took 11. It was 11. Maybe no, sorry, I'm lying. Maybe like 50 shots. And that one that they got on video was the only one that went fucking straight.
So is it just for it to go straight distance-wise?
So each there's 18 holes just like in golf. Each one's a par 3. So in all actuality, you have to make it within a certain amount of shots. And every one that you go over that, you go bogey or +2 or whatever it may be. Usually I was always like +2. So it would be I needed 5 chances to try to get there. You understand? So that's what would end up happening. It would take 5 chances. And they have different discs. They have a putter, they have a mid-range, they have a driver. So you use each frisbee disc to depending on the distance that you're at. For me,
So you go to is there a disc field? Like what is it?
yeah, they have a club shop where you could buy a disc.
No, but how about the territory, the field?
Oh yeah, it's at Trade Winds Park over here on Sample and by the Turnpike, and they actually have the whole setup right there, and you can just do it right there.
Is that still a thing, Butterfly World?
That's across the street. That's for the little kids, man. It's for the little kids, man.
Anyway, cool.
Well, LeVon, I appreciate you joining me on episode 119. Guys, click like, subscribe on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. Continue supporting the show on all social media platforms, Twitter and EAC Show on Instagram. We appreciate all the support. And LeVon, I'll check you out next week, buddy. I appreciate everything, bud.
No doubt, man.
All right, take care.